Hello guys, today in this video lecture we will learn how many constraints are there in SQL Server. So there are a few SQL Server constraints like a primary key, unique key, foreign key, uh, not null, check and default constraints. So constraints is a set of of a table. It should have some restrictions. So what is a primary key? First we will go with primary key. So primary key is a constraint in SQL Server that uniquely identifies each row in a table. So we can add a single primary key in a table. It ensures that the specified column or set of columns uh, contains unique values, does not allow null values. So we can add a single value or a combination of a value of the primary key, and it cannot hold null values. So primary key serves the main identifier for each record and helps maintain the integrity. So each and every records in a single in a column would be unique. So it will not be never repeat. In SQL Server, primary key constant the unique identifies each records. So it has some properties. Uniqueness. Every value in the primary key will be unique. No repeated value would be in that particular column. Not null, so we cannot left the value as a null. So we have to pass the value. Single or composite, we can apply primary key in a single column or a combination of column. Indexing, when we'll create the primary key, so automatically there will be created index that is uh, clustered index. So will be automatically created in the table. Integrity, so it will ensure that there will be the data. So let's move in the SQL Server Studio and checks how it will work. So first we have to create a database. So I will create a database with name of employee DB. Let's execute it. Database has been created. We have to use this. So this in use. So I have a created table with the name of employees. It has three columns: employee, name, age. Employee is integer data type, and I am declaring is as a primary key, and name is varchar 50 age. So let's execute this one. Table has been created inside the database. Okay, so let's see in the database. Yes, table has been created. It has three columns. Key has been created. Cluster index has been created. So using the select command, we will check that how many records has been created inside the data inside the table. Select historic from means it will return all the columns inside the database table has exist. Okay, so this time there is no record inside the table. Okay, and we will insert the value inside the employee table, and let's see one by one that all the condition is working or not. So I will take employee ID column. I will take employee ID column, name, age, and fill the values inside it. ID 1, name Rahul, is 25. Table name is employees. I'm going to pass value for employee ID, name, age. The value of employee ID is 1, name is Rahul, age is 25. Let's execute this one. Let's check the data whether has been created or not. Data has been created. Then I will check that repeated value. So it says that unique value would be in the table when I will apply the column as a primary key. So I'm going to pass the same value, and name is Samir, age would be 28. Let's see whether it will work or not. So okay, so it will not compromise with the uniqueness. So I have to pass some unique value here. So 2 is not exist inside the table. Let's see. Yes, 2 doesn't have. Okay, it has been created. So we can check that unique value is the requirement of the primary key. So it says that it cannot hold null values. So let's check. I'm passing employee ID, which is primary key, as a null value. Getting message allow, not allow null values. Okay, then again I will pass some value, employee ID as a 3. So value has been data has been inserted. Okay, so it's guaranteed that the value would be unique, not null, and data integrity. So that's it for the primary key. Thanks. Next constraint is unique key. Unique key is a constraint that ensures the values in a specific column or a combination of columns are unique across all rows in a table. Means that each value in a key unique key columns must be different from our other values in a columns within a table. So we can apply unique key on a single column or a combination of columns. Some main aspects of unique keys are below. uh, Uniqueness, every value in the unique key columns must be distinct. So we cannot repeat the values in the column which has been declared as unique key. This constraint prevents duplicate values in the specified columns or column. Null values, nullable. Unlike a primary key, a unique key column can allow one or more, not only one null values, not more null values. However, the null values must still adhere to the rule of uniqueness. That is, multiple rows can have null values, but the other null values in the column must be unique. Single or composite. So a unique key can be single column or combination of multiple columns. We can apply unique key on a single column or a combination of a column like 2 or 3 columns in a same table. We can apply in the case of composite unique case. So that scenario would be the composite unique key. The combination of values across the columns must be unique. So if I'm taking 1 or 2 columns as a unique key, so the value of 2 columns or combination of 3 columns must be unique. We can't repeat the value inside the table of that particular column. Unique index, a unique key creates unique index on the specified columns. We will check this one inside the table when the table will create. To ensure the uniqueness constraint is maintained and improve performance by searching, by using the indexing, we can improve the performance. Integrity, unique keys help maintain data integrity, which is the main part, ensuring that the data in the columns or column meet the uniqueness requirement, which can be important for the certain business rule and database relationships. So let's do this one in the SQL server and checks how it is working. I'm going to create employee table which has the columns name, employee ID, age. So I will make it unique using the unique key. So by using the unique keyword, we will make I will make this one a unique column. So I will run this one. Table has been created inside the table database table. Okay. So let's see. Table has been created. Columns. It has 3 columns: employee ID, name, age, keys. Unique key has been created. Unique index has been created. So let's move. I'll run select steric from employees. Steric will return each and every columns which has been declared inside the employees table. So there are 3 columns. Now there is no records. So I will fill the record as per the unique key constraint, constraint requirements. Insert into employees. I will declare the employee ID column. Name is unique and age. So I will fill the values inside it. ID1, name is TU, and age is 26. So first I will write the value inside the table. So value has been inserted, though then it is state that we cannot repeat the value inside the particular column. So it's maintained the uniqueness. So what I will do, I will try to write this TU again. I got duplicate key is not uh, allow, so I will write this one is John. Accepted, inserted the value. So I will try to pass the null value. Null, let's see what will happen. ID, this one is 3 is 37. Taken again, I will try to pass the null value. The duplicate, so already null is available inside the table. That's why it's not taking the null value. So I will try one more thing. I will pass this one, and column ID is 5, age is 28. Accepted. I will try again, insert same value. ID 6, age 29. Duplicate value not allowed. So that's it from the unique key. Next constraint is a foreign key constraint. A foreign key is a constraint in SQL Server that establishes a relationship between columns in one table and the primary key or unique key in another table. Creates the relationship between two tables. So one table has the primary key or unique key, and another table which will be the reference inside the table for a column. So it is used to enforce referential integrity, which ensures that the data in the foreign key columns matches the values in the referenced primary key or unique key. So data available in the first table having the primary key or unique key must be available there. Then I will write inside the child key in the reference table. So here are the main aspects of the foreign key. A foreign key ensures that the values in the foreign key columns matches the values in the referenced primary key or unique key columns in other table. This helps consistency and prevents overhands records. Means the tables data available inside the primary key or columns key of first table like parent table must be there. Then I will write or I can write inside the child table. Otherwise it will throw some errors that the data is not available inside the parent table, so it will throw some errors. Relationships. A foreign key establishes a relationship between tables, typically between a parent table and table with the primary key and the child table. So data must be available inside the parent table, then I can write in the child table. Cascade actions. Foreign keys can have cascade actions such on delete and on update, which defines how change the referenced data such as deletion or updation in the parent table will affect the child table. For example, if a reference record is deleted, if parent table data has been deleted, you can choose the delete set to null or restrict change to the related records in the child table. Data integrity. Foreign keys help ensure the accuracy and consistency of data across related tables by the restricting operations that would violate the relationship between the tables. So let's see inside the SQL Server how it will work. So I have taken two tables, customer table and order table. Customer table as work as a parent table and order table work as a child table. So customer ID here in the customer table is primary key name varchar 50, and I have taken order table order ID as a primary key. Customer ID and customer ID is the references of customers tables, which is the foreign key, is the primary key, and here it works as a foreign. So first I will run these tables. Okay, and table has been created. Table has been created. So let's see that whether it has been created or not. Yes, table has been created. So I will write some data inside the customer table first. Okay, has been created. Let's check. Select star from table John, another two Steve. Okay, Then again I will try to write some data inside the orders table. So command is insert into orders. So I will write order id, which is primary key, and customer id, which is the reference of the customer table, and customer id is primary key inside the customer table. It allows. Yes, then 2 is also available there. So I will write 2. Okay, 2 and 2, 3 and 2. So I will check here that here is 2 and 1 id inside the customer table, and to customer id 122, this has been created. So I will write 3, which is not available inside the uh, customer table. What will happen? So I got error implies table column customer id. So the conflict occurred. So 3 is not available as a customer id inside the customer table. So what I will try, I will write 3 here. Let's see what will happen. Smith data has been created inside the table. Try to insert this one. Okay, let's see. So we can write the repeat value, but only those values which is available customer id in the customers table, not other than that values. I will write to 5 and 4. So 4 is not available inside the customer table. Let's see. It will throw error. So that is from the foreign key. Next constraint is check constraint. In SQL Server is a rule that enforces data integrity by restricting the values that can be entered into a column based on a specified conditions. It ensures that only data meeting the defined condition is allowed in the column, helping to maintain data accuracy and consistency. To maintain the data accuracy and consistency, we will write some restrictions, some checks, conditions. On the basis of that check conditions, we can insert only those values which will fall inside that conditions. The condition is specified a logic conditions. So a range of values are a specific format. So we can write within this value to this in value some specific kind of format can be inserted inside the column that must satisfy it. If the data does not meet condition, the operation insert or update is rejected. We cannot insert that values inside the table for that particular row. We have some conditions here: column label or table label. A check constraint can be applied to single column label, or multiple columns table labels. So if I will write the check constraints on a single column, then it would be the column label. If I will apply this on multiple columns, then we can say it has been applied over the table label. In a table level check constraint, the condition can involve multiple columns and enforce a rule across them. Data validation: the check constraint self-validate data against specific rules, such as ensuring values fall within that certain range, follow a pattern, or satisfy other logical conditions. So if I will write that any pattern will go inside that column, or some certain range or any logical conditions, so if it will violate, then that data would be rejected and cannot write. Error handling: if an operation violates the check constraints, an error is raised. If any condition will violate the check constraints, like we are writing some range of data, some logical conditions or some patterns, so if it will fail, it will fall inside that conditions, then operation will be successful, otherwise it will be failed. So let's do some test in the SQL Server Studio and checks whether how it is working. I have a table, employees table, having three columns, employee ID, integer type, and it is primary key. Name, varchar, having 50 characters, age, integer, and checks whether age is greater than 18 or not. If age would be 18, greater than 18, then I can write this one. Otherwise, it will violate the condition of check and cannot write this one. So first I will run this table has been created. Let's check that it has been created inside the database or not. Okay. Yes, it has been created. Columns having three columns and constraints, check constraints has been created. It's applied over the age column. So I will insert to the table, insert into table name, column names I will write inside here. Column name, employee ID, name, and age. I will fill the values. ID 1, name John, is 27. So 27 is greater than 18. So let's see what will happen if I will write this one inside the table. Has been created. Let's check. Select asterisk from table name. I will copy and paste here. Run this command, select command, return the value. I will write another record to is due. I will write exact 18. Let's see what will happen. So it says that we can write greater than 18 and I'm trying to write 18. Let's see what will happen. Implies table is conflict occur database. So it's violate the condition. So I will try to write 17 which is less than 18 and it has not been created inside the table. Try to insert 17. Again I'm getting the error. So I will try to 19 which is one more than 18. Able to write inside the table. Yeah, that is from the check constraints. Next constraint is null, not null constraint. In SQL Server is a rule that ensures a column cannot contain null values. It enforces that a value must be provided for the specified column whenever a new row is inserted or an existing row is updated. When I will update an existing row or insert a row and the column has been mentioned as not null, then we cannot insert the null values against that column. So here are some aspects for the null constraint. Data integrity: by ensuring that a column does not contain null values, the not null constraints helps maintain data integrity by requiring that each record has a valid value for the specified column. So if I will write not null for a column, against that column that not null values cannot be inserted. Each and every time I will get some values. Mandatory values, then value would be mandatory. Then when I will write the not null against that column. Default behavior: by default column in SQL Server allow null values. The default behavior of SQL Server tables against a column is not null until unless I will not specify that not null constant explicitly, then it would be null. Let's flip the SQL Server and let's do some exercise and checks how it works. I have taken employees table having few columns, employee ID, integer type, and it is a primary key. So it is primary keys and already it is not null. And name varchar 50, uh, age integer, it is null. Either I will write or not. It is by default null. So I'm writing explicitly it is null, and here explicitly contact as not null. So I have to pass that contact, otherwise I will get some errors. So let's execute this table. Let's see it has been created or not inside the database. Expand this one. Table has been created. Columns, these are the columns. So let's try to insert some values inside the table. Employee. So employees table, I will write each and every column. Employee ID, name, age, and contact. I will pass the values. One, name John, is 27. Contact some values here. I will pass. Let's execute this one. It will return each and every column's value which has been right. So these has been written. So try to run some more values. Okay. Now I will not write this one. Let's see what will happen. So contact check constraint. I got the error. That uh, contact table column contact table implies column does not allows null. So when I will write the column explicitly as not null, so I have to pass the value. Otherwise, it will throw some error. That's it from the not null constraint. Next constraint is default constraint. A constraint is a rule that provides a default values for a column when a new row is inserted. Without specifying a value for that column, I will not specify that value for a column, and by default that value will be inserted in the row. This constraints helps ensure that column always have a valid value even if one is not providing during the an insert operation. Here are the main aspects of a default constraint: automatic value assignment. When a row is inserted without specifying a value for that column, the default constraint automatically provides the specified value for that column. Specified value, the value can be a constant or a system function such as get date. For that current date and time, I will write the get date default as a column for for a particular column. Then I will get each and every time the date time of the system when I will not pass the value for that particular column. The value should be compatible with the data type of the column. Flexibility, default constraint can be used to set default values for the various data types such as numeric, string, date and boolean. These values we can pass as a default. Data integrity, by providing default values, the default constraint helps maintain data integrity. Either I will pass or not, I will get the data in the column for that particular in the table for the particular column. Ease of data entry, if I will not write the data, it will be automatically inserted the default value. And default constraint, I will have to write the default keyword. So let's flip the SQL server and checks how it works. I have taken a table with name of employees. It has three columns: employee ID, its data type is integer, and I have taken it as a primary key. Name, it has 50 characters varchar, and age integer, and default value I have provided 30. So let's execute this one first. Executed, table has been created, and we have to check that table has been created or not. So refresh this one. Expanding, table has been created. So it has three columns, and so I will write the insert command without passing the age. And first I have to check that what data has been available inside the table. So if there is no data, then I will execute this one. So one row affected, data has been inserted in the table. Let's see what would be the value of age. So age is 30, and I didn't pass this one, but I got the value of age, and it is 30. So this one is default value. And I will pass again some value 45, and I will take here age column, and value is 45. Let's run this one. I have to change this one. Okay, and yes, it has been inserted. Let's see, select 45. If I will not pass the value, then it will take the default value. Now I have passed the value here, so I got the 45. That's it from the default constraint. Thanks.